Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello and a warm welcome. Many have been in wait, but we are extremely sorry. As usual, whenever I have wonderful guests and wonderful topics, all of a sudden there are technical glitches and hitches. So we are happy that always something is happening on this front. There are minds concentrating on these shows. I'm very happy. That way at least they will try to do justice. Or not, they will try to correct themselves. This will be in larger public interest. Otherwise, it is left to them. And because the challenge is very clear, today's show being so important, believe me, crypto road to bankrupt a country. We have been doing live shows very regularly on this cryptocurrency, and then when you try to subdue someone, either you hit him on his health, as has been during COVID-19. We have seen the comedian Raju Srivastava is there in the hospital. You should always ask why these heart attacks all of a sudden when they are going to gym. We have been losing, and we pray for his recovery, the comedian Raju Srivastava. When you go to the hospital, and then Delhi High Court also did pass an order against Ramdev Baba, asking them that they should not go beyond official. I question High Court through this. What is official High Court or Supreme Court? Did you come out with autopsy and postmortem report of COVID-19 to certify, to scientifically validate? Then what is that? Why are you not allowing other alternate systems of medicine? Is COVID vaccine or the treatments which are being given, including whatever the treatment is being given to the comedian Raju Srivastava, are they being certified? What is the treatment? You don't tell the treatment. Why the treatment? What is the disease? No post-mortem autopsy to confirm. Drugs have been being given. When people question why they are dying, you don't have any answer. Why I take all these things for this show is health is so important. What is happening? We have been questioning this through this channel. Science, truth and freedom as per rule of law, constitution, invoking evidential acts. I've been writing to everyone. How can courts don't understand what is science? What is the truth? Why there is no alternate medicine? Indian Ayurveda, Indian homeopathy, whatever, naturopathy. Why are you not allowing them to be practiced? In the same way, when you take away health, along with health, if you have hit to someone, if you have to subdue the entire nation at one go, it will be the finances. The economy. The economy means individual finances of a common man, common citizen, so that the entire system collapses. That is why, as said by Ravichandran-ji, I use the slogan, the say, supreme art of war is subduing enemy without fighting. Sun Tzu, this is what has been quoted. So you are fighting, you are killing the enemy or subduing the enemy without even fighting. How? I have shown you one example as health. The other example are your finances, your economy. You confuse him, or you see to that he gets no income. I have seen during 2 years of pandemic, only those 3 or 4 people have become neo-rich in India when everyone is suffering. Only 1% of those industrialists have become, they have entered into Forbes. How can this be possible? What is happening to Indian economy, finances? That is why this show is going to be of utmost importance. When you say cryptocurrency, the hidden agenda, I said, when I say currency, you will correct me because it is not official. You have seen how there was flip-flop by our Nirmala Sitharamanji, our finance minister. I hope she is celebrating her birthday. Birthday wishes to her on behalf of DRTSPR channels. I think as well as my good friend Ravichandran-Swaminathanji's side also. We wish her the best. But the flip-flop, she does something in the parliament, on the floor of the parliament, she comes out and speaks something. That shows the confusion, ambiguous state of our Indian economy. And in that confusion, now you have something called crypto, wherein we have shown the charmer when he is trying to charm you, saying invest 1 rupee, you will get 100, and you start investing 100 rupees, you will get nothing. That is what is happening. This is the charmer's way. Why the Indian Parliament, without debating, has to pass 30% or 40% tax. What is that money? Smuggled money? Is it ill-gotten money? Weapon money? Drugs money? Nirmala Sitharamanji, you have to tell it clearly. That is why you came out and you are trying to flip-flop. Same with the Reserve Bank of India. Who is the regulator authority? I can tell you, Reserve Bank of India is a sleeping mode. Because on a personal level, when we try to send them, immediately the next day it will come stating that your complaint has been closed. Pathetic situation. That is why this show is more and fundamental and important. Every individual citizen is a constitutional authority, and right from Prime Minister to Chief Minister or Cabinet Secretary to Chief Secretary, they are public servants. They cannot impose anything without your knowledge, without your sanction. They cannot run the government without your knowledge, without you authorizing them to do. That is through elections. They make laws in parliament and assemblies, and they are not allowing panchayat system, municipal system to work in tandem, so that an imposing culture. And who is there sitting in the law making? Are they so, I should not say experienced, or do they have any clear understanding? As a doctor, I say clinical understanding, clinical finishing of such issues. So Ravichandran-ji is going to present us. Yeah.
You can put the PPT, sir.
I can put the PPT, no?
Yeah.
PPT. You want to share? Shall I make you a presenter? Or you want me to share?
No, you can put it. You put it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, you can start, sir. I'll just try to get the PPT out of.
Okay. Good evening, viewers of dear TSPR channel, and thank you, Dr. Reddy, for once again for having me on your show. Today, I'll be talking to you about how cryptocurrency can bankrupt a country. But before that, I'll have to give you some historical background. Back in 1800s and 1900s, the British people were able to subjugate the Chinese by selling them opium from India. It is for this purpose the Britishers started cultivating opium in India, and they started to sell this opium to the Chinese. It was started by the East India Company, and subsequently it was continued by the Chinese. And there was 2 wars in China because the Chinese emperor had then decided that opium was very bad for his people, and he tried to block the sale of opium several times between 1700 and 1900. And every time the Britishers fought with them, and this was called the Opium Wars. And in this Opium War, the Chinese emperor was defeated, and opium was sold to the Chinese. And in that process, the Britishers were able to get a hold in Hong Kong and other places, Shanghai and other places. So this is how opium was used by the Britishers to subjugate the Chinese. Now we have a similar situation cropping up where cryptocurrency, where China is using several other methods to gain territory. We are seeing what has happened in Taiwan, what is happening in Taiwan. There is a lot of posturing going on in Taiwan, where China wants to, what I would say is, make Taiwan a part of China. Of course, they say it is a part of China, but they want to physically govern Taiwan, which is now as a democratic, independent country. So for this purpose, there is a lot of posturing going on, and while I feel that there won't be any outright war on the same level as Russia and Ukraine, but still, to save face, China may attack. It is quite possible that China may take control of small islands which belong to China, which belong to Taiwan, but are very close to the Chinese mainland. These islands could be occupied, number one. Number two, any military forces from Russia, from America or Germany or UK or the Quad, AUKUS, Caucasus, etc., if they try sailing through the Taiwan Strait, then it is going to be a problem for these people, because China will be able to bring in their land-based artillery and missiles to hit these people. Similarly, the Taiwan Strait can also be blocked at both ends by putting fishing boats across the strait. It is as simple as that. A full-scale assault of Taiwan is ruled out, because Taiwan has also improved its defenses on its coast. So this is the situation as far as Taiwan is concerned. And the Chinese will not go to war until and unless there is a victory is guaranteed. Without that, they will not enter into any war. Now, back in late 90s, you are not able to get the PPT, Mr.
No, sir,
Dr.
I'm not able to get your PPT. Very unfortunate.
One minute, I'll try to open it myself.
Yeah, I'll make you a presenter, because this spate of hacking is continuously going on. It is trying to play on my own. You are the presenter now, sir. Yeah.
You got it?
Yes, you can make it full screen now. Because it's an interesting topic. You can still further make it full screen, sir. Yes.
Now is it full screen?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So this is the background at which I'm talking. Late in 1990s, there were two PLA officers who wrote a book on warfare, on asymmetrical warfare. And in one of them, and some of the chapters or some of the ideas that were proposed in that book.
Can you move the screen, sir? Can you move to the next? It has not moved. It is there in the first page. First screen only.
It's not shifting.
Oh.
It's not shifting.
Okay, I'll just try to check. Because that would be much more important when you have this presentation going on. Yeah, it is now. Chronology.
Will it come?
Yeah, it has come, sir. Chronology.
Yeah, I can go now.
Yeah, first information about the transfer of funds from India to Costa Rica.
So, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Same page.
Yes.
So now, so in this asymmetrical warfare, there were several good ideas which the people had thrown up, and among them were, of course, your own biological warfare, which was done by this COVID coronavirus, and salami slicing, that is gradual encroachment of territory, and this Belt Road Initiative, BRI, by which China gives debts to other countries and brings them into, makes them fall into a debt trap, like Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and several African countries also. And the fourth one is, this is part of their economic offensive. And in this, the cryptocurrency also plays a huge part in that. And in this aspect, China has taken care to see that her economy is not affected by this cryptocurrency. So that is the background of this presentation. Now, regarding digital currency or crypto tokens or cryptocurrencies as it is popularly called, I have been seeing this cryptocurrency since 2010. In 2009-10, I was investigating a Ponzi scam in Coimbatore. And that is the first time that I saw that the scamster had transferred $1.5 million to a cryptocurrency. It was originally called Liberty Reserve. This Liberty Reserve currency was later banned by America, and the entire proceeds were seized by the American government. But that was the first occasion when I saw that this money being transferred as a crypto token to Liberty Reserve, which was running a bank in Costa Rica. Then 2011-12, there were indications that crypto tokens, crypto coins were taking traction. In 2013, in an interview with Information Security Media Group and Bloomberg, I had outlined the dangers of going into cryptocurrency, where I had specifically mentioned narco-terrorism and the crypto tokens not being what you call a fiat currency, not being guaranteed by the government. It could create problems in the economy of a country. Then in 2014, information about use of cryptocurrency for laundering money was passed on to the economic offences authorities. Then in 2015, I even prepared a questionnaire and gave a lecture on cryptocurrency or virtual currency to a couple of PhD students who were doing research in that area. In 2017, another case I had investigated where I found that a student had purchased drugs using bitcoins. In 2019, I had given several lectures on how virtual currencies would destroy the economy of the country to several commerce wings of professional colleges. In 2019, I investigated a ransomware attack on a crypto trader server. Was it a ransomware attack, or was it a staged attack to take out money from India? 420 crores was lost. The company servers were in Malaysia, so nothing much can be done about it. The promoters of the company were Chinese.
Okay.
And 2020, I did a research on crypto tokens to assess vulnerability of the blockchain technology, the servers, and this thing, and the dangers that we are entering into it blindfolded. In 2021, I did some research on cryptocurrency in online gaming sites, loan apps, Ponzi schemes, and etc. So all this shows. Then in 2022, the latest, I had talked on this channel on cryptocurrency, courtesy Dr. Reddy.
Yes, sir.
So from 2010, I have been going public on the dangers of cryptocurrency and how it is going to cost this country. This is just to give you a chronology that of what is happening. Now the latest, in August, the Enforcement Directorate raided some loan app companies, and they found out that these loan app companies were channeling the money into Chinese promoters, and most of these loan apps were being run by the Chinese. So with my earlier research, now I'm able to understand how the entire laundering or siphoning processes takes place. The modus operandi is very simple. It can be an Indian, it can be a Chinese, it can be a Malaysian, it can be anybody. In one case, I have even found out that a Turkish man was operating a loan app company from Hong Kong. And he was doing it with a Chinese partner. So all that they have to do is float a company in Malaysia or Hong Kong with Chinese funding. Invariably, the address is a fake address. There are Chinese promoters, there are Chinese funding for that company. From that company, they go to a tax haven and register a website for investment, online gambling, current cryptocurrency trading, loan shark apps, you name it. All illegal activities. Then what they do is they register company in India with Indian partners, with Indian directors who are appointed. These Indian directors are only in name. They do not have any powers on how to. It is bank accounts are opened in their names, and the entire operations are done by the Chinese partners who also post a person with visa, without visa. I don't know. I think our one of our notable MPs is also involved in giving visas to the Chinese without government knowledge. There is a visa scam going on. Investigation into that is also going on. But so many investigations are going on. I doubt whether the government knows what investigation is being done, or even the person who is being investigated knows what case is being investigated upon. There are so many cases. I doubt whether they have got a list of it also. So these people register companies in India, tie up with NBFCs, tie up with banks and all that, and start collecting. They appoint agents. Now these agents, they collect the money, deposit it in accounts opened in their names, and from that account, they keep transferring this amount to other agents, to the promoter, to some XYZ party. From that, this is all layering. It is going through several layers to ensure that whoever tries to find out the source of this money or where it is going will end up going round and round the bush. Finally, what happens is this money is converted into cryptocurrency and transferred into virtual wallets outside India. And if there is some complaint about somebody being cheated or anything like that, all that they have to do is close the company and run away. That's all. ED has reported that in the current investigation that they are doing, about 1,500 crores money has been siphoned off. My reading is it is only a tip of the iceberg. It is not even the tip of the iceberg. It is the tip of the iceberg. The Chinese people have got their hands so deep into the Indian economic scenario that it will be very difficult to remove them without proper laws. So basically, this is the issue. Now, when the laundering and siphoning processes takes place and we start bleeding money, when we start hemorrhaging money, then there must be something for which this money is being paid. It is interest, an unproductive expenditure. It is for online gambling. It is another unproductive expenditure. It is for scamming, which is an illegal thing. And most important, about which the Prime Minister had also made address the Independence Day, corruption. The case that I investigated 2 years back, a lot of bureaucrats were involved in it. The question is, where did they get the money to invest in cryptocurrencies? Was it bribe money? Was it money received for some other illegal consideration? Today we have seen 50 crores in Partha Chatterjee's account. He's a foolish man. He should have converted that 50 crores into cryptocurrency and he should have siphoned it out. He didn't ask the right people about it. That is his problem. So the same issues again. Then in another instance, 30,000 kilos of cocaine were seized in Adani port in Gujarat. And it was, the buyer was a person in Delhi. And that person was making payment for this narcotics using cryptocurrencies. Now you see, these are not new issues which have come suddenly in 2022. This has been happening since 2010, and at least to my knowledge, I have been talking about it for the last 12 years. This is not a new issue. In fact, for the last 12 years, I have been telling the government, please ban cryptocurrency. Dr. Reddy was talking about RBI, saying that it is sleeping. Dr. Reddy, you are wrong. RBI is not sleeping. It is in a comatose state, unable to wake up. Even the former governor of Reserve Bank of India was talking about it as a paper tiger. Sorry, sir, it is not a paper tiger. It is not even a cat. It is just paper. Incapable of even making the slightest sound. And when I wrote to RBI, they simply said that hit me with the clause bankers confidentiality. I don't know what is bankers confidentiality. Probably I should have addressed that letter to the Chinese. They would have given me the answers because they know what is happening in the RBI. So this is how the process takes place. Now, this same process can be used for laundering money also, which is also being done. Now, who are the targets for this? Because without internal help, nothing can happen. So who is responsible for all this? The naive Indian. The naive Indian thinks that if somebody promises him to 300% interest, he thinks that he is going to get it. Earlier, Dr. Reddy was also telling, you give 100 rupees and we will give you 300 rupees. And so you give 100 rupees and he goes out with that 100 rupees, you don't even get that 100 rupees. Forget about 300 rupees. To him, all the tokens, crypto, when you put up a huge paper ad saying that Bitcoin is selling at 45 lakhs, 50 lakhs per coin, you can make crores and crores of rupees. Then naturally he is going to go in for that. And he is going to get fooled. Then you have the greater fool who invests and buys in crypto, hoping that there is a still greater fool outside who will buy it at a higher value. So he is taking advantage of this situation. Then we have our percentage politicians, the bartering bureaucrats, the tax evaders, and the criminals who are looking for ways to wash their dirty money and bring it into circulation. Cryptocurrency is the ideal, ideal washing machine to launder dirty money, black money, or whatever sort of money that you want. Then, like the examples I gave you, the below the radar trader in narcotics, arms, terrorist funding, scammers, for them, cryptos provide the ideal anonymous platform to receive all their considerations. And let me tell you, even in Ponzi schemes which the scamsters are running in Coimbatore, I have seen a lot of money coming from Kerala. Why should money from Kerala be deposited in a Ponzi scheme in Coimbatore is $1 million question. And some of these are NGOs. And several of them are, let me say, non-entities. So it is quite possible that money is being pumped in to create what I call a troubled situation in the country, to create problems for the governments in power, and for vested interest to take control of the country. And finally, we have our Indians who are addicted to the internet, gambling, pornography. These addicts, their addiction is the source. This is something called the variable ratio reinforcement schedule. Like, for example, most of us are addicted to the internet. We cannot live without the internet. Early morning, when somebody gets up, then the first thing is open the email, open the WhatsApp to find out what messages have come in the night. And if somebody has missed out, then immediately you start messaging them, asking them what is the problem. And the minute you open your eyes, the first thing that you do is send up a good morning to everybody status message. Without making that status message, your day is doomed. If you don't make that message, your day is doomed. So that is the situation, that is the addiction. Now, added to that addiction, you have online gaming sites. You have pornographic people, pornographic sites. Now, what happens is, because of your addiction, you go to the internet. Because you go to the internet, you have got access to online gaming and pornographic sites, you become addicted to that. Now, because of that addiction, you want to go to the sites, you go to the internet. So one feeds on the other and becomes a vicious circle. And at the end of the day, you are completely trapped into that. Normally, we say the coils of a snake. No, sir, it is coils of number of snakes. There is no way you can get out of it. It is very, very difficult to get out of it. And this is a problem that the entire country is facing, particularly online gaming sites and pornographic sites. And children are increasingly getting addicted to it. I have seen 4th standard and 5th standard students giggling and laughing at pornographic sites in the bus stand. Our society, our cultural values, everything is going for a toss because of parents. Parents are not paying attention to what their children are doing. They are very proud that their children of 3 years and 4 years are able to handle a smartphone or handle a laptop without understanding the consequences of permitting them to do it without any monitoring or surveillance. This is a destruction of the entire country's cultural values. And from that, the country will be destroyed. Economy, health, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. When your morals are lost, you are lost. This is the thing that is happening today. And unfortunately, our neighboring countries are taking advantage of that, more particularly China. This is the art of making war without fighting. This was first stated by Sun Tzu several centuries back. And this is the basic doctrine which the Chinese follow even today. In fact, The Art of War by Sun Tzu is a textbook for most military academies, including ours. But unfortunately, we are not learning from them. At least this civilian side of the government is not learning from that. In fact, they should also be learning, because increasingly the war will not be fought on the battlegrounds with tanks, guns, aeroplanes, missiles, or this thing. It will be cyber warfare, it will be economic warfare, it will be biological warfare, which we have already seen. Our government is in this stage. For the last 12 years, I've been talking about a crisis. I've been talking about a crisis in cyber security. I've been talking about a crisis in the cryptocurrency field. I've been talking about the crisis in several aspects. And the government says crisis. What crisis? I am not able to see it. It is like the proverbial ostrich with the head buried deep into the sand. The government is not able to see any crisis at all. And what are the support systems for helping removing this money? There are no laws to regulate crypto tokens, cryptocurrencies. Gentlemen, there are no laws for the regulation of cryptocurrencies despite the Reserve Bank of India saying that it is a Ponzi scheme, it is a danger to the economy, it is a danger to society. Despite cryptocurrency being used in narcotic trade, despite crypto tokens being used in terrorist funding, despite cryptocurrencies being used in money laundering, the government has still not enunciated any law for the regulation of crypto tokens. Without laws, how will the government going to tackle the crisis? Who are the regulators to survey and regulate cryptocurrencies? It is not specified. SEBI says we are not responsible. RBI says we are not responsible. MCX says we are not responsible. NSE, the National Stock Exchanges say, well, we are part of it. NSE with algo trading, you ask Chitra Ramakrishnan, she will tell you that 50,000 crores of invested profits obtained by algo trading and the scam that has happened in the NSE went to Singapore by way of cryptocurrency. If you ask Chitra Ramakrishnan, she will detail how it has gone out. Now, the finance ministry is unable to look beyond the 30% tax that it could earn from this cryptocurrency profits. But without any regulation, without any regulator, without knowing who is dealing with what, how is the tax going to come to the government? And what tax? Out of 1,000 crores which has been siphoned out, will the government be happy if 300 crores is paid by taxes and the less 700 crores is taken away by China? Is it okay to the finance ministry people? Aren't they supposed to be proactive in protecting the economy? Is their job only to rake in money, rake in revenue and talk about how the deficit has been controlled and how the inflation has been controlled and how active they are in protecting this economy? 7% only inflation, and compared to other economies, our economy is growing. How? How is the economy growing? If you lose 1,000 crores in one transaction, how is the economy going to go to $5 trillion? It is a pipe dream. And our Reserve Bank of India, they are unable to convince the government to ban crypto tokens. What more can we say about it? When there is no agreement between the premier, that is the Central Bank of India, and the government on how to run the economy, how is the cryptocurrency going to be controlled? When are they going to control it? I've been talking about it for 12 years now. Your Data Protection Act was started in 2018. 2016, Supreme Court has passed the made privacy a fundamental right. From that date onwards till 2022, we don't even have the Data Protection Act. There is no right to privacy act at all. And our judiciary, our great judiciary, why should they be left alone? They are unable to appreciate the danger that cryptocurrency will have on the economy. Today, if a judge tells Baba Ramdev that he should not talk about pharmacy because he does not have any knowledge about this thing, does the Supreme Court have any knowledge, medical knowledge? For 5,000 years, Ayurveda has been practiced in India. Your Western pharmacy is only about 200, 250 years old, and most of it is borrowed from India. Just because they have the money to do advertisements, influence people, lobby governments, does not mean that Ayurveda is not effective at all. Anyway, that is one side of the question. But here we have a present and existential threat to the country in the form of cryptocurrency. Why has the judiciary not passed orders prohibiting the use of cryptocurrency in the first place? Or why hasn't it directed the government to bring in laws to protect the economy? After all, judicial activism is supposed to be a big thing in Supreme Court. This is where judicial activism is to be shown. Not for reforming a rapist who has raped and murdered a 4-year-old girl and let her to die, and the judge says every sinner has got a future, so he should be released after 20 years. It should not be shown by releasing the people who rape and kill pregnant women. If they have been sentenced for life imprisonment, they have to serve that entire life imprisonment.
Yes.
They can't be released on 15 years because of good behavior. What is the guarantee that they will not do it again? Then who has the future? Where judicial activism is required, the judiciary turns a blind eye. Where it is not required, then it is doing a grandstanding operation. This is unfortunate situation of the judiciary. And above all, we the people, we are also equally responsible for the siphoning. We want to make money when sun is shining. We forget that inside all that grass that we are drying out in the sun, there can also be snakes. And when we support this system which is supporting all these illegal activities, then we are also to be blamed. And all of us are the support systems for siphoning. At least after listening to this, I would be happy if 3 or 4 people start talking about it, force their MPs, MLAs to talk to the government and drive some sense into the ministries that are concerned. MIT, Finance Ministry, RBI. Now, is it any wonder that China is playing the pipe? Actually, this is the situation now. China is playing the Pied Piper, showing the money and all that, and all our rats are going behind that. That is why 1,000 crores has gone to China. It is a Pied Piper of Beijing. And China is very comfortable now. So, thank you, gentlemen. Over to you, Dr. Reddy. I am over.
Yeah. It's wonderful presentation, believe me. Neat, simple, very crisp and to the point, to the core. Now, what I have to say? What is that I have to say now? I am spellbound. How do we rectify this? When today she is celebrating her birthday, Finance Minister, all of a sudden, in the presence of Mr. Prime Minister Modi, announces 30% tax on cryptocurrency. What should I say? Immediately after our 2 live shows, when we question, she comes out and says, yes, it is bothersome. This cryptocurrency is either from drugs, narcotics. I am worried, she said. Then after that, RBI comes out with some statement. What is this happening to India? Are we trapped? Or is it a deliberate attempt in getting trapped? That's what I am asking you. Is it a deliberate attempt by some of the politicians because of their vested interest, business interest, mortgaging the entire country and the fortune of the people or citizens?
Yes. People are involved in this. Politicians are involved in this.
You mean to say all this now, there is a big one coming up now, linking of rivers, for which you need funding from different sources. So is it something like that? Some big projects, in the name of projects, they will get loans and they'll siphon off all our resources.
Linking of rivers, what is the environmental damage that is going to be caused to this country? China has dammed the Yangtze Kiang, and today they are facing a drought in Sichuan province. Factories have been closed down because of lack of power. And why? Because there is no water there. There is a drought situation, there is a heat wave, and there is no power to run the factories. Sichuan province covers 40% of Chinese economy, and that has been closed down for 1 week now. Do we want a similar situation in India? Wisdom lies in learning from other people's experience. We have got an experience in this our own neighborhood. And if you don't see that and still go in for grandiose projects of linking rivers, then it is going to be a issue. If I remember right, last time when we were talking about Kerala,
Yes.
Kerala
Yes.
and the rivers there, the
Western Ghats.
wonderful activist was also giving a lot of information about that. A similar situation is that time also I said that instead of grand projects of linking rivers, first create basins. This is what our ancestors did, and they did it well without disturbing the nature. This is what is to be required, not grand projects, because people forget that the entire north, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Nepal, Jammu Kashmir, all these places, the Garhwal Hills, Assam, all these places are earthquake prone. A small earthquake, a cloudburst in Uttarakhand, and Kanyakumari will be washed away if you link the rivers.
Yeah, that's very well. Then that's what, because this linking you need budget. So is that budget going to come through this cryptos? Is this the idea? 30% tax on
If
crypto?
it comes from cryptos, then I am very sorry. At least I'll be happy, I will be sorry also. Because if it is going to come through cryptos, then I will be happy because the rivers are not going to be linked. The project will be only on paper. I will be sorry because a lot of money will be going out. And when you compare both of them, I will tell, okay, the second one is a better solution. You take the money and go, at least leave my land and river safe.
That is one aspect when it comes to projects, linking of crypto to projects. But linking of crypto to those unfortunate innocent citizens who feel that they can rake money selling everything because of pandemic COVID-19 health crisis which they have created, the government or the WHO, everyone is suffering. Now human mind, he wants to become neo-rich immediately after all the pain and suffering, looking at his family. Now what if they are getting trapped into this, because now every mobile is connected to internet thanks to Jio and Adani. Now they are making it merry that, as you rightly said, daily as soon as you wake up, in our traditions we used to pray to God. But now we are picking up a mobile or a laptop or an iPad. How do you look at this scenario now? What is the danger for a commoner?
Well, see, if you want, there are no free lunches. There are no free lunches. And you cannot make money overnight. Let us go back to our roots. Let us go back to our heritage. Let us go back to our culture. This is what the Prime Minister also said in the Independence Day message. We should not leave behind our heritage, our culture, our values, and go after this westernized idea of success and progress, etc. That is not the way. Our culture has shown us, our values have shown us, our history, ancient history has shown us the correct path. Let us go back to that path and walk our way. This crypto tokens or cryptocurrencies is not going to help in any manner to anybody. And if innocent people are trapped in this, the government has also got a hand in that, because they are not passing the laws. They are lax in proposing laws and passing it. They are not bothered about the people. If GDP growth and progress is the development is the only criteria that is to be shown, then I'm sorry, At the end of the 20 years or 30 years, there will be no India to progress.
Very sad statement, very threatening statement from you. But when he said the heritage, our Indianness should be protected, how is that he is not banning cryptocurrency? Why is he is not taking back that 30% tax which they have levied on the floor of parliament? Why is he silent?
Because the danger of the cryptocurrency is still not sunk into them. It is only today, only the last week, when ED showed that 1,000 crores of rupees has gone as a cryptocurrency to China, it is only now that they are waking up. Why? For the last 20 years, we have been depending upon China for everything, right from your incense sticks to toys to everything. Everything was being imported from China. All our applications were being imported from China.
Crackers, festivities, our festivity crackers also they were trying to manufacture. How can a country so deeply involved and take away our culture, our heritage, our identification with the culture or with the diversity of lives? How can our country be allowed? Now it is 8 years. Now yesterday he is speaking on the from the Red Fort. How do you look at this scenario? How truthful they are?
That is the point, Dr. Reddy. This issue is not just for 5 years or 8 years or 10 years or 20 years. This has been happening since 1947. Our country has been being sold out by our leaders for their own vested interests. And I don't care who the leader is.
We are not bothered.
From 1947 up to present.
Yep.
Every political party, every political leader has been out to make his own money, to hell with the people. And if this country has still survived, it is not because of the government, it is because of the people. It has survived in spite of the government.
Now, there is no opposition, literally. Everyone is under ED scanner order. In spite of that, why Prime Minister speaks so many things, and when it comes to the Parliament implementing rules, you are imposing 30% tax on cryptocurrency. Now, what is crypto? They are not defining. Is it drug money? Which money is that? Why this greater confusion? On one stroke, you could have said, no 30% tax, we are going to ban crypto. Why that decision has not been taken? Why do you think this has not been taken?
Because the finance minister, as she said in a TV interview, they have formed a committee, and that committee has to give its report saying whether cryptocurrency is legal or not legal. And when is that committee going to give a report? We don't know. It will give in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. We don't know. There are committees have been there in existence for the last 20 years without giving a report.
No, but why do you need why do you need a committee when Reserve Bank very clearly said it's a Ponzi scheme? That is a regulatory authority, independent. Why this committee? Again, you need a committee. Why Parliament did not discuss on RBI's statement that crypto is a Ponzi scheme, it has to be banned. And again, the same Nirmala Sitharamanji, after passing that law, 30% tax on cryptocurrency, she comes out after our live shows, 2 shows, and she says, even I am worried from where this money will come. Is it on record? We are not saying, it's our own statement. When these two things are there, two clear-cut statements, one by the finance ministry and one by the RBI itself, and then RBI also regularly followed, and so many cases are being filed, everything is there. Why do you need another committee, sir?
That is the issue, Dr. Reddy. See, that is the issue, Dr. Reddy. Nobody has an idea about it. It is only now when crypto exchanges are being raided that the ED is finding, the economic officers wing is finding, the CBI is finding that beyond a point they cannot follow. There is no trail to follow. There is no money trail to follow. There is no physical IP addresses trails to follow. There is no physical addresses to follow. People are not there to follow. It is only now they are realizing that cryptocurrency transactions are anonymous. It is not able to track them. Now it is only 1 week since they have realized that. Now it will take time for them to put it in a big file, take it to the finance minister, and if she has got the patience to go through it, she has to go through it, understand it, and then pass the rules. The finance minister Babus are not interested. They get their money, they get their salaries on 1st of every month, whether they do any work, whether they don't do any work, whether they understand crypto, whether they don't understand crypto, it is not to them. Where is the accountability? Why loan applications are supposed to be banned in this country? How are they still operating? RBI as the central bank has got to have some, just as it is regulating bank credit, it should do that for the loan apps also. Why is it not acting? Forget loan apps. These are all small tickets. What did they do in the cooperative bank scams? What did they do in PMC? All deposit holders were told by the finance minister that they will get their deposit after 10 years. And what about the 80-year-old pensioner who has deposited all his money for his daughter's marriage in that PMC? Either his daughter will die of old age or he will die of old age, but anyway the marriage will not take place. So this is the level of responsibility of the finance ministry in this country. Now what do you expect from them?
Now, where should common man go? Merging of banks, it's a big fraud. It's already, we have been crying hoarse. Banks lend out so much of money, and instead of liquidating non-performance assets, they have merged the banks to conceal it. And not only that, the way they are trying to write off the loans of these big businessmen, corporates, while you make, if I don't pay one installment, bloody I am there in the network and they are harassing me. And that too by false statements. We are suffering with our own this thing. Two banks, they issue false statements, and when you try to find out, you show them the proof, they threaten you bloody with all these calls, and they say they will block your credit. And that too CIBIL, Credit Information Bureau India Limited, which has got its base in USA, server in USA. Is Prime Minister or Finance Ministers, are they sleeping? Reserve Bank of India, are they sleeping? How the Indian citizens are being blackmailed by these banks or finance companies in the name of CIBIL. The server is there in the US. How do you look at this scenario, sir? Don't you think all these are crypto agendas only?
This is why the Data Protection Act was supposed to be passed. But where is the opposition? The opposition does not sit in the parliament at all. It is sitting outside the parliament. So who is going to ask the government? And if there is no asking the government, then the government is doing as it pleases. What is the opposition doing? What is the government doing? What are the people who have elected MPs and MLAs doing? Why aren't they questioning anybody? At the end of the day, it is only people like you and me who have to question. And unless we raise our voices, nothing is going to happen. You have to contact your MP, I have to contact my MP, and lot of people have to contact their MPs and MLAs and their state governments and tell them that this is the issue. Why aren't they taking it up in parliament? What is the point in standing outside the parliament and shouting instead of standing inside the parliament and asking the questions? And to ask questions, first they must know what the issue is. They don't know what the issue is. They don't know what the problem is. And whatever the finance minister says, whatever the treasury benches say, they take it. They have to take it because they have not understood the problem at all. And everybody is grandstanding. Everybody is grandstanding. Whether it is in the opposition, whether it is in the treasury, whether it is in the judiciary, whether it is anywhere, everybody is grandstanding.
But don't you think even those there in the ruling...
What can be done? Today in Bihar ministry, in the Bihar ministry, a minister has been inducted who has got an arrest warrant against him. And the policeman says, the superintendent of police says, yes, we have got an arrest warrant of it. Then why did they execute it when he was being inducted? They can't say that we don't know where he is.
He was taking oath as a minister while he was supposed to appear in the court. Courts, see how courts and police are working. For commoner, they will pick you up in the midnight bloody as if they are terrorists. But see here, the one who is inducted, who is supposed to be there in the court, is taking oath. It's making a mockery. Nitish Kumar says he is the most honest person on this earth. And see the RJD coming back to cover, having such people and Congress supporting it. What is this nonsense going on in this country? Only that is why I am asking you through why courts, even in COVID cases we have seen, they have never bothered to appoint any technical committee or those who have understanding of the medicine knowledge. 1.5 years Supreme Court sat on COVID without revealing what these COVID vaccines contain, whether COVID-19 virus was isolated or not, and whether without understanding what COVID-19 virus is, what these vaccines contain, and when I get affected with COVID-19, what are the drugs which are being used on me, what does the drugs contain. This trial has gone for such a long time, and Supreme Court paying 50,000 money to those unfortunate deaths, and those deaths have not been certified or scientifically validated either to autopsy or post-mortem as COVID-19 deaths. But still, without evidence, how can Supreme Court be so naive? And in this issue also, Supreme Court, just because RBI has not, they have struck down this. Why Supreme Court has not taken up by appointing those who have got knowledge in finances, in cryptocurrencies? Why do you think Supreme Court is not understanding this? Why they don't take it suo moto with those experts? See, with your 12 years experience, which is there on, yep.
See, this is the issue, Dr. Reddy. This is the issue. We don't appreciate, we are looking at what creates a sensation, and we are going after that. We are not prepared to sit down and analyze what is going wrong and what effect certain laws or the absence of certain laws will have on the economy, on the country, on the society, on the people. We are not interested in that. We are interested only in grandstanding. Tomorrow our name should come on the paper. That is all. Tomorrow my name should come on the TV. I should be interviewed. This is what is happening. Who is interested in the life or miseries or sufferings of the common man? Nobody is interested. And every topic that you talk, you bring in either religion or you bring in the caste. Where is the solution? Who is talking about the solution? Nobody is talking about the solution. I am telling you, yes, there is a solution. Pass laws. Pass the Data Protection Act. Before that, pass the Right to Privacy Act. If you want a draft of that Right to Privacy Act, tell me, I have got it. If you want a draft of the Data Protection Act, ask me, I have got it. I am here with the solution I am prepared to give you. Are you prepared to take it? Yes, it may require modifications, modify it. It may require additions, add it. It may require deletions, delete it. I don't say that I am an expert in everything. But I have got the template on which you can act. Why are you into doing it?
I hope Supreme Court. Yep, go ahead.
The essential problem is there is nobody in the government to listen to people who are crying themselves hoarse about what is going wrong in this country. And people who have got solutions for that. Nobody is listening to that.
No, because if Parliament...
Today, when ED has come out with the statement that 1,000 crores has gone to China, can they follow it up? Can they follow it up? No. There are any number of Chinese without visas in India. How did they come into India? Why are they operating without visas? Forget the Chinese. There are Nigerians also involved in this. There is an entire drug network which is involved in this. ISIS has got a hand in this. And all these people are being funded by NGOs for which vested interests outside the country are sending money. They are doing it to destabilize this country. And what does the Home Ministry says? You get 10 lakhs from anywhere you want.
That's mind-boggling.
They opened the NGOs.
Yeah.
When there has to be a control on the funds going into NGOs, the Home Ministry comes out and says you can give 10 lakhs to any NGO.
That's ridiculous. That really bothered me a lot. How can Home Ministry say 10 lakhs, we will not question you? What is that nonsense going on in this country?
Are you so desperate for foreign funds? Is this the way to bring in?
Now, lastly, before we say bye, now Parliament or assemblies, they are supposed to legislate, make laws. If they are not making proper laws, which should be in consonance with the purity of welfare or development of every citizen, that means the country as a whole. What are those IAS or administrators when they also do not protest, or when such ideas are being implemented into laws, when they keep mum, or else they themselves be part of that? Now, don't you think the third pillar judiciary has a vital or pivotal role in taking such issues as suo motu and put that for trial immediately without any delay? Otherwise, you have seen health. When health is gone, the health is the wealth. When health is of a citizen is gone, the country is gone. What we have seen and we are witnessing now. The dilly-dallying of Supreme Court not having, or High Courts not having, those experienced, well-versed, scientific background judges. I am very categorical and clear. If I am wrong, they can always correct me. They can appear me on shows. I will take back all my words. We are here. Similarly, now the trial, ultimately the trial has to be done by the courts. That is why I am trying to put this into the domain of courts, High Courts or Supreme Court. They have to understand, all the judges. Ultimately, we should not allow the trial to be conducted in the name of amendment, Criminal Procedure Act amendments by a constable or by administrators. The trial, the justice system should be there in the courts and judges should prevail it, whether High Court or Supreme Court. Don't you think these judges should understand the financial implications of such cryptos or such laws, 30% tax being passed by Parliament? Now when the ED trail is happening, when it clearly comes out 1,000 crores have gone siphoned off, how can courts be silent? Don't you think under the basic structure of constitution, they have got their duty now, responsibility to protect this country and citizens?
You are right. They have got a responsibility. But they are more bothered about their rights than their responsibilities. And it is not that the Supreme Court does not have the skill set or the expertise. In the Novartis cancer case, it was a beautiful judgment given by the Supreme Court. One of the best made judgments of the Supreme Court, where they have gone into details of how the chemical reactions takes place. You should read that particular judgment, Novartis, about that cancer drug, giving patent to that cancer drug. And the patent laws itself was formulated. One of the best legislations that I have seen. It is not that the people lack expertise or the skills. If the Supreme Court has got a mind to do it, it will do it. But unfortunate thing is, there is no will. And therefore there is no way. They are more bothered about who is going to be the next CJI or the collegium, and more important matters like whether India is going to be represented in the FIFA or the Indian Olympic Association, who is going to head the Indian Olympic Association, is a more serious matter to them than cryptocurrencies destroying the economy. Just imagine the amount of time that the Supreme Court has spent in regulating BCCI, Board of Cricket Control of India. In fact, it was being headed by a Supreme Court justice. So, this has got more importance than the economy or the medicine or the health. And forget everything. Sitting in Coimbatore or sitting in Hyderabad, do you think that we can afford to go to the Supreme Court and fight a case asking them to do this?
No, that's why we have been demanding Supreme Court in every region. At least that way we can get justice.
Where is the money for that? Can you afford it? Can I afford it?
We cannot. We cannot travel. We cannot hire an advocate.
So So no, they are not bothered. That's all. Simple.
And not only that, BCCI you have referred, the way they are trying to buy a sports person with a sportsman spirit. Now commercially they are buying, auctioning players and buying. Where that money is coming, that also Supreme Court doesn't go through the trail. If they go through the trail, they'll come to know about the crypto.
No. IPL was a money laundering operation.
That's what. At least there also, Supreme Court sitting on BCCI trial, don't they understand how these auctions are being done and who are those doing auctions and who are those buying players? Did you ever see a player being bought commercially? Is this what sports is all about? I don't understand. And from where this money is coming? What are these organizations? Supreme Court sitting on such BCCI trial also ignores that. From where that money is coming? How this is being commercially exploited? The sport, the sportsman spirit is lost there itself. When you commercially exploit a sports or a sports personality, the spirit is gone. If I am wrong, correct me, Supreme Court or High Courts. Similar way, I request all the Indian citizens, and I hope the entire world is watching this show. Every country the same thing happens. You always stick to the core of your own regulated official currency. Don't get into unnecessary things in the name of greediness or avariciousness which you find daily. Even Instagram, like all this, they are promoting these sites very regularly. Telegram, every now and then, so many sites. They say you invest here, you invest there. I ask every citizen, without your investment getting into actual mode, when you invest your money either on a plot or an industry, don't you think that business should be done in a proper way, in a transparent way, so that the gains are visible? Only after that you should take your profits. How can you just, like a lottery, you invest here, you take away 30%, 40%, and don't you understand what they are trying to do with your money? One time they may entice you, after that they will force you to invest more and more. After that, where this money will go? And who is running this crypto chain? Do you have any idea? What is that message you want to convey? Is there any clear idea about crypto? After our show, Europe Union at least came forward, they banned. I don't know what is the state there now. But India, after that 30% tax and
European Union has made it very clear that if you want to run a crypto exchange in Europe, then it has to be transparent in the sense that the exchange should know who is transacting with whom, with how much of money, with what money, where the sources. Complete KYC norms are to be given. If they are not given, then it will be heavily. It is as good as banning cryptocurrency.
what is that ultimate message you want to
We
give
are
a
not even
common
talking
Indian?
about banning it. We are not even having a regulator for that now.
No
We do
regular.
not even have a regulator. Today, when the ED goes to crypto exchange servers, all that they can say is that these people are not giving us the information. How can they give the information when they have not collected it themselves?
That's $1 million
And
question.
if that information is in Europe, then it will be in Europe. How can they give it? European laws do not permit them to give that information to CBI just because they are asking it, because India does not have a Data Protection Act.
That's ridiculous. So this is for everyone. I hope we are very clear. A charmer, and there is a Chinese way of slogan also. How the Chinese way of stealing is without stealing. Chinese way of stealing is without stealing. This is how they try to do. And what happened to our knowledge? We don't blame China or anyone. But what happened to our imperative wisdom, our knowledge? మన తెలివికి ఏమైంది? మనం ఎవరినో బదలాము చేసే కంటే మన ఆలోచన ఎక్కడికి పోయింది? రూపాయి పెడితే 100 రూపాయలు వస్తాయంటే ఆ దందా ఏంది మనం తెలుసుకోవాలన్నా వద్దా? అది ఎటువంటి దందానో తెలుసుకోవాలన్నా వద్దా? తెలుసుకోకుండా దాంట్లో పెడితే ఒకసారి రూపాయికు నీకు 2 రూపాయలు ఇస్తాడు. దాని తర్వాత నువ్వు 10 పెడతావు, 100 పెడతావు, వాడు అన్ని ఎత్తుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతాడు. దాంతో మన ఆర్థిక వ్యవస్థ దెబ్బతింటుందా లేదా? మనమే బిచ్చగాలం అవుతామా లేదా? శ్రీలంకలాగా పోదామా? క్రిప్టో అంటేనే ఎవడో తెలియదు. 30% ట్యాక్స్ అంటుంది మన ఆర్థిక మంత్రి. మళ్ళీ బయటకు వచ్చి అయ్యో ఇది మేము మా షో చేసిన తర్వాత ఇది డ్రగ్ మనీయా, వెపన్ మనీయా, ఏది అవును కరెక్టే కదా. आरबीआई ఏమైంది पांजी स्कीम. आप सोचिए किस्मत का खेल अपने पैसे से ना खेलिए आप, क्योंकि अपनी ज़िंदगी को बर्बाद करता और हमारे देश को भी बर्बाद करता. जब आप 1 रुपया दे रहे 2 रुपया वो देगा, बाद में आप 10 डालेंगे 100 डालेंगे, 10 के साथ सब चले जाएगा. आपकी कमाई जाएगी और देश की आर्थिक व्यवस्था सब कुछ जाएगा. जिस तरह श्रीलंका का है उसी तरह का होगा. इसीलिए जागरूक हो जाइए. आप एमएलए और एमपी को उनको प्रश्न कीजिए क्यों इस तरह की आप कानून कर रहे हैं. आप सोचिए, ప్రశ్నించండి ఎమ్మెల్యేలను కానీ ఎంపీలను, ఎందుకు ఇటువంటి చట్టాలను తెస్తా ఉన్నారు, ఎవరికి లాభం చేకూర్చడానికి. और आप सब लोग सोचिए और प्रश्न कीजिए कोर्ट्स को, क्यों ये न्यायाधीश इसको क्यों नहीं समझ रहे हैं. और जिस तरह हमारे स्वास्थ्य के साथ खेल खिलावा हुआ, 2 साल गए, आज भी अगर आर्थिक व्यवस्था के साथ हम इसी तरह की छूट होगी, जब वहाँ स्वास्थ्य गया और अब हाथ से पैसा भी खत्म, क्या జిందగీ होगी. 2 సంవత్సరాల మహమ్మారి సమయంలో చూసాం ఏ విధంగా తీవ్రమైనటువంటి ఇబ్బందులకు గురైనము. అక్కడ ఆరోగ్యం బాయ్, ఇప్పుడు మనం సంపాదించుకున్నటువంటి ఉన్న డబ్బులు పోతే అక్కడ ఆరోగ్యము, ఇక్కడ డబ్బులు లేక మన పరిస్థితి ఏంది ఆలోచన చేయండి. కోట్లపై కూడా ప్రెషర్ పెట్టాలంటే మీరు రాయండి కోట్లకు కూడా. న్యాయ వ్యవస్థలను కూడా చెప్పండి. పార్లమెంటు అసెంబ్లీలో కానీ తప్పు చేస్తే మీరు దేనికోసం ఉన్నారు, ప్రశ్నించాలా వారిని. మమ్మల్ని అడగవచ్చు మీరేం. అందు గురించే మేము ఈ ఛానల్ ద్వారా వాచ్ డాగ్ మేము చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం ఖచ్చితమైనటువంటి ఆధారాలతో. దెర్ ఈజ్ నో డేటా ప్రొటెక్షన్ యాక్ట్, నాట్ ది ప్రైవసీ యాక్ట్. నౌ ది గవర్నమెంట్ ఈజ్ స్లీపింగ్ ఆన్ దట్, or he will say what government is going to do. And when you do not have that, don't you think these type of cryptocurrencies will make merry, making only top 2 or 3 earn more and more. They are defaulters at the level, all of a sudden they are making profits. How are they making profits? మొన్నటి వరకు లోన్లు కట్టని వాళ్ళు ఈరోజు ప్రపంచంలో అత్యంత ధనికులు అవుతా ఉన్నారు భారతీయులు. ఎట్లా అవుతున్నారు? पिछले दिन तक वो लोग लोन भी नहीं चुकाने की स्थिति में थे, लेकिन आज अमीर, दुनिया के अमीर कैसे बने हमारे हिंदुस्तानी. ये हमारी नॉलेज हम नहीं सोच सके, इसीलिए हमको डैश बना रहे और हमारी जो पूरा लूटा जा रहा है. सो आप सोचिए, आलोचना చేయండి. काइंडली थिंक, you are the citizen, you are the constitutional authority, they are all public servants. How are they trying to boss over you and they don't give you information? Yes sir, wind up. रविचंद्रन जी.
अभी सिर्फ जो 2 चीज मुझे बोलने का था. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे होए. When things are good, if you start praying, then there will not be any sorrow at all. But we don't do that. Today, if your situation is good, start praying. If the situation is possible, start questioning people, because you will soon reach a state where you will not even be able to question. Then there is no point in praying at all. Then, when we reach such a state, then all we can say is, आचे दिन पाचे गए, हरि से मिला न है, अब पछताए होवत क्या, चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. After China has taken everything, then there is no point in saying, हरि हरि.
जाग जाइए, क्योंकि जब पार्लियामेंट और असेंबली हमको जागने की इजाज़त नहीं देती, केवल इस तरह की कानून लाए जाते जो हमारी स्वास्थ्य और हमारी जो संपदा है वो लूटने की जो साजिश बन रही है, उसके खिलाफ लड़िए. और हम चाहते कि हमारे न्यायाधीश, न्यायस्थल भी इसके ऊपर सुमोटा लेना ही चाहिए. ఇప్పటికైనా కోర్టులు మేల్కొనాలా. ఒక సైడు ఆరోగ్యం ఏ విధంగా అయితే మీరు దెబ్బ పడతా ఉందో, ఒక సైడు సంపద కూడా పోతే భారతీయుడు పరిస్థితి ఏంది, కోర్టులు మేల్కోవాలి. ఐ ఓన్లీ సిన్సియర్లీ హోప్ అట్లీస్ట్ నౌ సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ ఆర్ ఫర్ దట్ మ్యాటర్ ఎవ్రీ స్టేట్ హై కోర్ట్ will understand the nuances or dangers, because judges have to understand that we are not the last ones on this earth. Tomorrow our own kith and kin have to survive. How will they survive? if you don't protect all these resources and if you don't administer in a transparent and accountable way. So you should start thinking in that selfish way that what if I do a mistake, tomorrow it is going to have a telling effect on my own children. At least that greedy selfishness should be there on everyone. Only then the change will happen. Otherwise, if you think that after making money, you will run away, the same situation will prevail there also. Because this trail will not leave you wherever you go, because that greediness, that avariciousness, that guilt of cheating someone and making money at the cost of the rule of law, at the cost of the constitution, at the cost of all the evidences, it is nothing but digging your own grave wherever you are. So sincerely I hope everyone will become very responsible, rightful, mindful of your own kith and kin, so that you will become more responsible and focus and unearth all these illegalities from the system once for all, so that we can all live in a much better, healthy way with all the happiness around, where you can always vouch for transparency and accountability on every given act by those elected representatives or by those administrators, or for that matter by all these courts, or for that matter including us journalists as watchdogs. Thank you very much, sir. Do take care. Wonderful posting you once again. I only hope the citizens will understand. We will repeat this, but before I say bye, you need to support DR TSPR channels. DR means Dr. TSPR channels, Citizen DR TSPR channels, and Environment DR TSPR channels. You have to support, subscribe, and all share these links, and we will welcome you to oppose us. And I release a poster much earlier by tagging everyone with my mobile number. If you feel we are doing anything wrong, I will immediately host you so that you can correct us. But if you feel we have done something good with all those evidences, with some wonderful guests participating, I certainly expect a change so that every citizen can lead a comfortable life. Otherwise, DRTSPR channels with wonderful guests will keep on doing or bringing out such issues in series, but as per rule of law, constitution, invoking evidential act. Come whatever may, by following all those principles of natural justice, by releasing the poster in advance with the mobile number, everything for you to contact us. Thank you very much, sir. Good night. Take care.
Good night.
Bye. At least I hope we are not crypto. We are very open, we are very transparent, and we are discussing everything in larger public interest. Thank you.
Thank you.